Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Pets on a Train. And this film is from directors Benoit Defez and Jean-Christian Tassé. And this film focuses on when a crew of animal bandits embark on a routine swindle. They find themselves caught up in a train heist. It's up to Falcon, a petty thief raccoon, and Rex, a righteous police dog, to save the animals on this high-speed runaway train. And Pets on a Train, this is animal bullet train, basically. And, I think the biggest selling point of this film is the action, because this does go way over the top, similar to Bullet Train, in some of these, like the crashes and what happens to these cars as they're trying to slow things down and release all these cars so that the train is lighter so they can stop it. And it has all those moments, and there's so many elements where it's like it's big, it's fiery, it's explosive. It knows that it's going over the top with it, and I think that makes it more fun, to be perfectly honest. The pacing of the film, this is a nice lean hour and 26-minute film, and it moves. It does have kid pacing, and even like the moment where Falcon, our protagonist, this raccoon, gets separated and feeling dejected and stuff like that, and it's resolved in a couple minutes and we're back on the run, back on the heist. Tonally though, this film, I feel like, is trying to give itself some weight to feel like, oh my god, danger! Stuff can happen, but it never feels like they're really in danger. Even like the antagonist, this badger, who has just this deep, intimidating voice, and you're like, ooh, scary villain, and then he's kind of an idiot. So it's even like that feels like it's a microcosm of the bigger aspect of the film, where it's like, we want you to feel danger, but it's really silly and don't feel too danger because nobody, like, we don't want to kill any animals or anything. But there's like these darker elements to the story, like this reporter who wants to like leverage this poor girl and get her caught crying when her like animal dies when this the train crashes, and you're just like, is this trying to be really silly, or are we trying to have some like legitimate weight and some darker elements to this? Because that kind of feels uneven in its execution with this film, because like there's plenty of animated films, look at Don Bluth, that have darker weight to it, especially a lot of those 80s animated films. This like tries to have like this faux feel of danger, but really it's just kind of silly and we go with it. From a storytelling perspective, it's pretty simple. It's like the big crux of like Falcon is lying to everybody and they think they can trust him, but he's just this bandit raccoon, and he has to have his hero moment to, get his reputation back and to gain the trust of others. And you have a lot of those tropey kinds of feel. And, like I mentioned, the villain, it's like he's trying to be super intimidating, but then they undercut it a lot with these silly jokes. The fact that, like, he has this motivation to get back at Rex, this police dog, and Rex doesn't remember his name, like, ever. And that's a running gag out of it. Some of these characters are a lot of fun. There's just too many of these characters that we're trying to balance time with. And some of them, like, the gag of... most of these characters have, like, a specific trait or gag that represents them. And some of them are a little too low-hanging fruit to really hit. But a lot of the time, it's like it's trying to have these deeply emotional moments, and I don't know if it quite feels too effective enough for that. But you do have these fun, like, cutaways to the backstories of some of these animals, and the one for the snake is so unexpected and kind of fun and silly, and I'm like, okay, I can buy into this. And this film is really playing around with expectations in terms of, like, tone and character, but, in general, the story feels pretty straightforward. It's like, they need to try to stop this train. Everything they're going to do is about trying to stop this train. And we get the story, and that's where we're going with it. And, generally it doesn't overstay its welcome. It has its moments. And in general, even though it's uneven, this is a film that, generally doesn't take itself too seriously. It might get a little bit emotional at times. But, it's cute animals on a train. So there you go. But those are my thoughts on Pets on a Train. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.